Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's strength class, last strength class of Wednesday. Thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Again, here is our waiver for the month of June. Again, we have Q Fit Perform. This week is week 4, and we have a pulling emphasis. So a lot of the exercise that we'll be doing this week is mostly pulling. Again, if you have any questions, send me a message or add yourself to that Slack thread. Again, next we have the Perfect Posture Program. This is done by Coach Kimberly and Coach Brooke. Again, if you have any questions on these, you can always look at yourself or check out the program information on Slack, as all the information is usually posted on there. And then lastly, again, we have the cooking demo. Cooking demos are every month. Feel free to watch the recording or join live. That way you can get some cool inspiration for some recipes. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. I'll let everybody know in the chat that you'll need a pair of light to moderate dumbbells, kettlebell, and a resistance band. All right, looks like we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and start moving. So you can use your desk chair. You can go ahead and use your desk, something nice and stable. Let's go ahead and start with some easy leg swings. Get some warmth here in our lower body and some hamstrings, as we are doing a little bending movement today. So again, just nice and easy. Make sure that you have something nice and stable. Let's do about 10 to 12 repetitions on your right. And then once you finish, let's do about 10 to 12 repetitions on your left. Again, just kind of being a little bit dynamic here and getting some movement and blood flow here in our lower body. And prepping ourselves for the bending movement, bending pattern. Once you finish those 10 to 12 reps, we're going to face whatever object that you have. Let's go and do some lateral leg swings. Again, opening up here our groin and getting some more movement here in our hips. Again, if you have a PVC pipe, you can use that or pull. Get something nice and stable. Do about 10 to 12 reps. Same thing on the opposite leg. All right, once you finish, let's go ahead and just do some nice, easy arm swings, lateral arm swings, opening up here our chest. Again, feel free to do a little bit more leg swings if you'd like. And then let's go ahead and do some vertical arm swings. Again, opening up here our shoulders and our lats, as we are doing some pressing today. And then let's go ahead and finish off with some nice, easy lateral flexion, getting our earlobe to that bottom shoulder, that same shoulder. Kind of move your hips side to side if you'd like to. And then we're going to go and finish off with just going up and down. Yeah, chin down, chin up. All right, you can go ahead and keep stretching if you like. We have a couple different movements that we're doing today. We have a single leg dumbbell deadlift, which is a bending movement. We have a single arm dumbbell strict press, and then we have a band pull apart. We're going to go ahead and repeat those movements for 2 intervals, and then we'll move on to the next 3, which is a kettlebell deadlift, a kettlebell march, and then a simple bicep curl. So single leg dumbbell deadlift, how it's going to work is you're going to have your feet directly underneath your hips. You're going to be holding one dumbbell. All you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and bend and reach down and try to have that dumbbell get close to your toes. We'll do it for about 20 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and switch arms and switch legs and repeat on that opposite leg. Okay, so again, whatever leg is working, that is the arm that you will have your dumbbell in. So my right leg is being contracted. I'm going to go ahead and grab the dumbbell with my right hand. After we finish that movement, we're then going to do a single leg dumbbell strict press. So you're going to go ahead and just lift one leg up off the floor, take that dumbbell, put it to the front rack, and then we're going to go ahead and press for 20 seconds while that leg is up. So whatever leg is up and extended, that same arm is going to go ahead and work. Again, balancing a little bit of body awareness, proprioception while working that vertical pushing pattern. And then we'll then move on to the band pull apart, just basically targeting our upper back in our palms down or palms up position. All right. So we're going to go ahead and work for 40 seconds, rest for 20. We'll do this interval twice, and then we'll move on to the next 3 movements, which will be a kettlebell deadlift, a kettlebell march, and a bicep curl. So go ahead and grab yourself a nice little sip of water, and then we will starting with the single leg dumbbell deadlifts, and then moving on to the single leg dumbbell strict press. All right, friends, I'm going to go and start the clock now. Again, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, starting off with the single leg dumbbell deadlift in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and work now. Again, you should have your dumbbell in whatever arm works best for you, working for 20 seconds. Go ahead and bend. Again, you might find your knee is a little bit unstable. That's what we're looking for here. And we're looking for you to utilize most of your leg muscles. Go ahead and switch arms now, switch legs. Goes by pretty fast. Looking for you to utilize your leg muscles. Again, we're also creating some good strength for your knee and trying to push or point that opposite toe nice and forward. Again, seeing how mobile, flexible, and strong you are in a single leg position. Go ahead and rest. Goes by pretty fast. A nice quick 20 seconds on each leg. So we have a nice little 20-second break now. The next move we're going to go ahead and do is a single leg dumbbell strict press. So again, if my right leg is up, my right arm is working. All right, trying to focus on creating a nice stable core. Let's go ahead and work now. Again, go and grab that dumbbell, put it to the front rack position. You can take your hand and put it to your side. And again, just really focus on contracting your belly button, using your foot muscles. And again, trying to balance on that left or right leg. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch arms, switch legs. Again, we're working here our balance, a little bit of our coordination, and trying our best to keep our knee in a nice stable position. Again, I'm doing this body weight. I have no weight, but again, still working my core, my glutes, a little bit of my ankles. 2, 1. All right, that's nice job. 20 seconds off. We got one last movement within this triplet, and then we're going to go back up to the top and perform that single leg dumbbell deadlift. So go and grab yourself your resistance band. Again, we can go palms down, or we can go ahead and go palms up. Totally up to you. Go ahead and extend your elbows and bring that band into abduction or away from your body. Again, don't let the band lose resistance. We're just looking to keep tension throughout the whole range of motion, working throughout the whole 40 seconds. And exhale as the band goes away from you or apart. We got about 15 more seconds. Again, you should feel this contraction taking place in your very upper back and maybe even a little bit of your triceps. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest now. Nice job, everyone. We're going to go back up to the top. And then we have, again, those same 3 movements. We have a single leg dumbbell deadlift, testing our coordination. Single leg dumbbell strict press, again, testing our coordination and our strength. And then one last band pull-up bar. So go ahead and grab yourself your dumbbell, working in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start with whatever leg works best for you. And again, just focusing on trying to point that opposite toe. Again, keeping that dumbbell relatively close to your body. Just kind of challenging yourself, challenging your balance. Go ahead and switch legs, switch arms. And you might find that the non-dominant leg or non-dominant side is just a little bit less stable, a little bit weaker in the pattern. Again, an exercise forcing you to utilize your toes and your digits. Go ahead and rest now. Nice job. We're going to go to the same thing, except we're going to go and do this on the pressing pattern or the upper body push. So again, that's a little 8 seconds off. Go ahead and relax your hands. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and grab yourself your dumbbell. Let's go to the front rack position. Let's go and lift up whatever leg works best for you. Again, you can be bent or you can just put it forward if you'd like. Let's go ahead and again, focusing on pushing nice and vertical. Again, bring some awareness to your breath as well. Try to relax your breath and just focus again on that good pattern. Go ahead and switch legs now. Same thing. A little simple exercise, but also very effective as we're focusing here on maintaining good balance and trying not to let that off foot touch the ground. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Nice job, everyone. We're going to go ahead and move on to the band pull aparts. Again, we got one last band, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the kettlebell stuff. We will be utilizing our kettlebell in the next tricep and finishing off with some bicep curls at the very end. So again, go ahead and grab yourself your band. We're going to go and start 40 seconds. Get a nice, easy base. Go ahead and lock out your elbows. Again, pretty simple. We can't really mess this exercise up. Try not to lose tension again in the very middle. Keep tension throughout the whole range of motion. Again, you want strong elasticity. You want to make it a little easier, you can just go ahead and just kind of grab one. That way you have a little bit less tension. Or you can go ahead and just kind of move your hands out a little bit wider on the band. That way you have a lot less resistance as opposed to having your hands close to your band. All right, we're going to go ahead and rest now. We won't need the band anymore. We are now going to move on to the kettlebell deadlift. Again, we'll have the kettlebell right in the between our ankles. Have a nice, good, wide stance. We're going to go and start about 5 seconds. I'll coach you through the movement as we go. Let's go ahead and reach down and grab the kettlebell by the handle. And then we're going to go and stand up and squeeze our glutes at the very top. Again, focus on keeping a nice, good, neutral back. Pushing our hips back. Bringing the kettlebell down to the floor. Again, squeezing our glutes at the very top. Again, try your best to have the kettlebell make contact with the floor. If you find that it's a little bit too difficult for you, that's okay. You can reduce the range of motion and just go to where you feel nice and comfortable. Again, this is a bending pattern, so we're focusing on pushing our hips back, letting the kettlebell travel down in between our ankles. Again, squeezing our glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, everyone. Again, we're not really focusing here on squatting. We're focusing on bending, pushing our hips back, similar to what we're doing in the single leg dumbbell deadlift. The next one is we have the kettlebell march. So we're going to go ahead and grab the kettlebell by the horns in this position. And then we're going to go and work now, bringing our knees up to our belly button. Again, just focus here on squeezing and bracing our belly button. Again, this is an isometric and stabilization exercise. So you might even feel your arms and your forearms getting some work in, which is good. And take your time. Got about 10 more seconds. And squeeze your belly button, glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, everyone. We won't need the kettlebell for this next exercise. We're now going to go and move on to the bicep curl. Simple exercise. You can do whatever variation works for you. Got about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and work now for about 40 seconds. Again, just focusing here on training our biceps. And if you want to go and do the same at the same time, all good. If you want to go and do alternating, again, all good. If you want to keep your palms up, go alternate, you can do that. Palms up at the same time. If you want to go and do one full curl and then one half curl and then alternate, you can do that as well. Tons of little different variations that you can do here in the bicep curl. Pick one that works best for you. 2, 1, and then go ahead and rest down. All right, everyone, we got last 3 movements. Going to go back up to the top on the interval, starting with the kettlebell deadlift. So go ahead and grab yourself your kettlebell, put it between your ankles, and then we're going to go ahead and work in 3, 2, 1. Again, have yourself a nice, good wide stance. You can even take your toes and slightly point them out, so where you're in more of a sumo stance. And again, as you're reaching down and grabbing that kettlebell, you should be focusing on pushing our hips back, Our shoulders will stand nice and tall. And again, just really focusing on working our glutes. You should feel this in your glutes, specifically a little bit of your outer glutes going towards the inner side. Get about 15 seconds. Again, just let your legs do all the work as you come up and grab the kettlebell. Get about 8 more seconds. Again, bend as you go down. Breathe in as you come up. Go ahead and exhale. 2, 1, and then go ahead and rest. Nice job. We have one last kettlebell movement. That'll be your kettlebell march. And we got about 8 seconds. So we're going to grab the kettlebell. You can grab the kettlebell by the horns, or if you want to grab it by the bell, you can do that too. The bell's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit easier too. I like grabbing it by the horns just because it's a little bit harder on your forearms. You get a little bit more of an arm workout. Again, working here for 40 seconds. Taking our time, going nice and slow, having some good patience. Bracing, squeezing our belly button. 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone, go ahead and rest. We have one last exercise. That'll be our bicep curl. Again, simple, just like the last time. Go ahead and pick an exercise that works best for you and one that is challenging. So go ahead and grab yourself your dumbbells. We got one last one. We're going to go to work now. Again, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Doing some simple alternating curls. Again, you can make it a little bit more challenging just by focusing on going slow on the way down and focusing on the eccentric or the lengthening part of the movement. We've got about 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, friends, go ahead and rest. I'm going to go ahead and pause my timer. We got about a couple more minutes left. Let's just go ahead and just do a nice little flow. Again, let's just start with some nice and easy forward arm circles to get some movement. A little bit more burn in our shoulders. We're going to go ahead and just kind of do this a little bit. Okay, some blood flow here in our shoulders. Let's go ahead and take our hands, put it behind our head, interlock our fingers. Then we're going to go ahead and bring our elbows in, elbows out to get a little bit similarly to what we're doing here with the band pull-up bar. We're just getting some scap retraction. Again, trying to open up our upper back. Again, our fingers should be pretty much interlocked. And then let's go ahead and just do some half windmills. Again, getting some movements here in our ribs and our upper lats and back of our shoulders. Get a nice big wave. And then lastly, let's go ahead and just get some blood flow here to our low back. So go ahead and push our hips back, reach down and kind of round our shoulders a little bit. And let that transfer of weight go towards our low back. Get some nice blood flow. And don't go super fast, but just focus on creating a nice round back to get some nice blood flow. Move your hips side to side. All right, friends, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. Thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dorian.